Okay, we back. Welcome back, guys. We got Ron Gidry and the quail on the Cajun grill.
Yeah.
We got them covered. You hear them?
Oh, yeah.
They're talking to you.
I smell them.
The temperature came up to about 400, which is
Yeah.
okay because we got a cold tray. I mean, your coals are this far away from the bird. So that's good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little rice on the grill. A lot of people freak out when they, man, you can't cook rice on the grill. I'm like, well, again, that's like an outdoor oven, you know?
Yeah, you
so
can.
all I did, Ron, is I put enough rice in there that I figured we need, and then I rinse my rice. And a lot of people don't wash their rice. I believe that's huge.
I usually rinse mine.
Yeah,
also.
what we do is you rinse it, you kind of stir it around, you see all this starch kind of coming into the water.
No, you do it once or twice?
Oh, no, I do it probably 3 or 4 times until it still got a lot of starch, but that's good. And then I normally just take some regular salt or some sea salt and just kind of give it a little bit of flavor so you don't have to season it as much whenever you go and put it in your plate. And then what I do is I just take a full sheet of aluminum foil, and I cover it. And you want to make sure that it's pretty airtight. And just like on your little rice cooker, they got like the thing with the little hole in the glass to let some of that steam out. So we're gonna do the same thing, but I just close this up. And then I'm gonna take a knife and I'm gonna make 5 little holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then
so you're designing.
Yeah, like a dice.
It's a design.
And then I just kind of put this on the grill. Now, I want to kind of get it steaming or simmering, so my coals are kind of far. I think our coals are good because they're more lit on this side than this side. So I'm gonna jack this up just a little bit, just for a little while. Not very long.
Ain't gonna hurt it.
Ain't gonna hurt your quail. And that's gonna probably sit for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then the water's gonna be bubbling. And then I'm gonna lower it. You'll see a little bit of steam coming out them holes. I'm gonna lower it down, and it takes about another 5 minutes. And that rice will be beautiful. So we got all the food on. There's really not much we can talk, but I know you got a lot of story off camera. Well, we got stories coming out your ears, man. And in that book, okay, let me ask
me something. Okay, I'm not divulging anything, but if you ask me, I'll tell you.
And we didn't talk about this before you came, but I talked to your wife about it. In reading your book, I understand your dad worked for the railroad.
Yeah.
For Southern Pacific.
Southern Pacific.
And then later at Amtrak.
Yeah.
Did you know my grandfather?
Your grandfather?
Side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Conley's.
Yeah, because they all know each other.
They're like a brotherhood.
Yeah, they all know.
I mean, I was just fascinated. I didn't know that about your family. Yeah. And you got how many kids?
We have 3. Ronnie and I have 3.
3 kids. A daughter?
A daughter, Jamie, who's the oldest, then our son, Brandon, and then our daughter, Danielle.
Right. And any grandkids?
We have 2.
2 grandkids?
Yeah.
You don't spoil them?
Yeah.
No. Come on, Ron.
No.
All right. So it's all right. I know I can just see you with them kids. You're crazy.
Well, especially the little girl, Ava. And then I think he's going to be 9.
Yeah.
Ava was only 2.5.
Oh, Lord.
And since they just built their new home, they live right on the side of us.
Right.
So there's a small little field across from Mike and Jamie, and in our house. So every afternoon when she comes back from school, I'll go walk outside, and she'll come out and then she runs across the field.
Right.
Yeah, because now what they're talking to
and
me,
I can just see you with that big smile.
Yeah. Well, that's my job.
Well, yeah, boy, you're grandpa.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
And then, of course, being a little boy, he's into all kind of stuff. So
rocks and mud and four-wheelers.
4-wheelers and all that.
Yeah,
so he's not the type that you can
love up on.
Yeah. He's not.
He ain't got time for that.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But with Ava, you can play around.
Well, pretty soon you can take them hunting, though. It won't be long.
Well,
you'll be able to get a little
I'm waiting when she gets old enough so I can teach her how to play golf, so she can come play golf with me.
Yeah.
Hunting, hey, look, I'm sure you can get hit with a golf ball and you can suffer bad injuries, but you can also, it's dangerous with guns.
Right.
I don't want to introduce her that too young. But golf is different.
Yeah, yeah.
If she wants to shoot when she's older, that's fine. Guys, I've been shooting guns since I was 7 years old, but it was another way to put some food on the table.
Right.
So you learn how to do it right. Every time when I'm around them, I'm conscious of them anyway.
Yeah, and the older we get, the more you realize how dangerous it can be.
So
if you're out there, you send your kids to a gun safety training course.
Yeah.
If you're gonna bring them hunting, take some time and train them right.
Yeah. I even took my wife one time, but I only gave her a shell at a time.
Oh, my wife came one time. She said, "You can go. I will never go hunting again." I don't
I
see
think
what
mine would come again, but
Yeah.
you know, if I treated her
I'm like,
different.
honey, look at the sunrise. We in the marsh waking up. She goes, and the mosquitoes.
mosquitoes?
No, no,
Yeah.
no. She said, you can have all
Oh,
of that.
you took her when there was the mosquitoes. See,
Well,
I took Bonnie when it was about 20 degrees.
I mean, man, I tried not to, but you know, opportunity comes up, you
Oh,
go,
yeah,
you
well,
take it.
Hey,
Okay, now talk about some of your old teammates. I know you stay in touch with a lot with Goose.
well, Goose and I are very good friends, but
Right.
we go to spring training together.
Right.
So we've been doing that for about 15 or so years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been going to spring training, I guess, for like 23, 24 years now,
Mm-hmm.
ever since I retired. Well, I got Goose to come in the latter part of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he started coming. So, and being on those World Championship clubs together, we had a camaraderie before. It's only grown since.
Right.
Because now we don't play, we're old, and we got to watch them.
Right.
And we have fun with them, but that's what spring training is all about, having fun. Learning, and you know, we try to teach as much as we can.
Now, okay, now so when put yourself in their shoes when you were just coming up, were there people like
didn't
what you
have
they didn't
no.
have mentors like what you're doing for the younger kids?
Whitey Ford was the only one that came. Now, for us, having Whitey there was great.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's a hero to us. That
Right.
was the 50s and 60s Yankees. That
Right.
was the teams that I looked up when I was growing up. So yeah, he was a hero. Mantle made a special appearance every once in a while.
Right.
Whitey was there for about 3 or 4 weeks in spring training. So it was great having him. But he was basically the only one.
Right.
Now, Yogi was there, but he was coaching. So
Right.
he was there all the time. But we
Right.
didn't look at Yogi as we looked at, you know, at Ford.
So do you find that what y'all are doing now is kind of paving the way? Do you see other ball clubs that do this, or that kind of just the Yankees?
From what
do
I
this?
gather, we're one of the few clubs that really do that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's important to the young kids, huh? I mean, like the one that just retired, your pitcher.
if I had a choice to have a few more guys there when I was playing, I
Right.
would have liked.
Yeah.
Because one of the best days was Old Timers game.
Right.
When you'd walk in there in the latter part of the 70s, so, you know, you walked in the Yankee Stadium clubhouse and you walked through the door, when you'd look like this,
Right.
you'd see Vic Raschi, Allie Reynolds, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, Elston Howard, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Tom Tresh, Bobby Richardson, and then the last locker was Joe DiMaggio, and he'd be locked way by himself.
Right.
Okay, and then you'd look on that side of the room, and they'd be Eddie Lopat, Tommy Henry, Cleet Boyer. Did I say it? Tony Kubek.
Yeah.
The list was endless.
Yeah. Just
You know,
like
and-
the legends
and
of the
yeah,
game.
And you'd walk in like,
Wow.
you know, like that. And as soon as they'd see you, hey, Gator, my God, hey. And they'd make you sit down, and then they'd start talking about what you did last month, last week, last night.
Right.
And they were so interested in you. You know, I'd try to talk to them about something that I know that they did. Well, that's not what they wanted to hear.
Right.
They wanted to talk about
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mantle and Ford and all of that. You know, they always wanted to know, how did you throw your slider? How did Sparky show you? There were some that wanted to know, how could you throw so hard being so small? I only weighed 150 pounds.
Right.
Okay? So they'd always go like, there's no way, you can't.
I think I weighed 150 pounds when I was 8, and that was it. It was all downhill.
I was
after that.
one of the, I might have been the only guy after the end of the season that got the card that was sent out at every year about your weight for
Right.
next year. Everybody'd have to watch your sodium, do this, do that.
Eat more.
That's what Gene would put. Gene Monahan was my trainer. He'd put on the top of the card, eat more. And he'd put things.
Well, man, I'm digging these stories. Look, we're going to be checking on the rice here in a second, so don't go nowhere. I hope you're enjoying this show. We'll learn how to cook some quail on the Cajun grill.